another episode of Evolving Together. So today we're going to talk about how to find your purpose in life and how to figure out what works for you and what does not work for you, what makes you happy, just how to figure out what you want to do with your life. Basically, most people have this thing where they just settle with how the things are. They don't really think much about it. They're just going on with their life as their life is and not really doing anything to change it, not really thinking about, okay, is this for me? Do I like what I'm doing? So we just want to focus on how you can figure out what is for you and what is not meant for you. And for me personally, I've not really figured out what exactly I want to do with my life. I'm more just going about it and seeing what makes me happy and what I like to do. And I don't have any idea what I want to do long term with my life, what I want to study and all of these things, So I'm just right now I'm living in the moment, not really thinking too much about it, just doing
living in the moment is also really amazing.
Yeah,
as long as you're doing something you like.
Yeah, exactly.
The place you're in right now, you're enjoying, right?
Exactly. I like it, but I don't know what exactly I want with my life. And I mean, I have ideas, but I am not 100% sure, okay, this is what I want and what I want to do with my life. Where you're more you know what you like and you know what you want.
So I know a lot of young people, they are very stressed about what to do with their life. And we also really want to make this episode to let you know that you don't have to be stressed. Some of us has figured it out, some of us has not. For example, Emily, as she was saying, she doesn't know exactly what she wants to do long term, but she's enjoying where she is right now.
Exactly.
And she's enjoying the moment she's living, and you're getting to know yourself even better and better and better every day. And sometimes,
and hopefully one day I'm gonna
of course you're gonna figure it out.
Exactly what I want.
I mean, sometimes you figure out by experience. Now you're now she's a cabin crew, and her just having that experience is gonna get her closer to the answer of where you want to be, because then you can see, okay, what do I like about this job, what do I not, what am I good in with this job, what am I not. And I think just general experience will push you closer to the end result.
It's also just good to try different things,
Yeah, instead of thinking I have to find my passion at 20, at 18, and then just do that for the rest of my life. No, be chill with yourself. You're still very young, you're not even fully developed, and we grow all the time. You can change your career when you're 40. It's never too late.
But that's also I feel if I take an education now or something, I don't know if I want to use that in 10 years, in 20 years,
That's the thing.
I have no idea, because there's not really something that I know I want 100%, I want to spend the rest of my life with this, So if I'm gonna go out and spend 5 years on studying something and I'm not even sure that's what I want, and that's what I want to use for something else.
That's actually another point that I want to touch on. I think a lot of people, there are a lot of young girls and guys, they're very stressed about going to uni right after they finish high school and all this, because they just want to get somewhere with their career so they can start their life and
just
so
get
on.
over with it.
And sometimes when you're, or very, very often, 9 out of 10 times when you're that age, you don't know what you want. You may have an idea, but sometimes you're also doing things for the wrong reason, because you're simply not developed enough to figure out what's for you. You may just do one education for the money, or because the working hours are good, or so and so on. And I think that's so sad, because you're not going to thrive 100% if you're not burning for the job that you have.
Exactly.
You have, and I think if you already know, okay, I want to become a doctor because I want to help people so and so, you have some reasons for it, that's not just the money, then I think it's fine you go and study directly after school. But
also you just don't know if you want this. What I wanted when I was 18 and what I want now is
just
different things,
Yeah.
And there's so many things that I also want to try, so it's so hard to just choose okay, I'm gonna go this way, because I also want to go that way and everything. So yeah,
for sure. I think it's super, super important, and I cannot stress this enough, that when you're young and when you finish your main school, the one that everybody goes to, it's different for each countries. For us, it's you finish when you're 18 or 19, it's kind of different. But in the country that we live in, it's very, very normal to take a gap year. And I love that, and I wish more countries would implement it, because it's so beautiful. We've done it ourselves. It gives you so much time to reflect. I just think a gap year is so important, because it gives you time to really reflect on what you want, and because I feel when you go to school every day, you're really distracted.
You're also many people are working while they're going to school, and you don't really have a lot of time to think
Yeah, and then you're burned out after school, and you don't really have that. Then you just want to scroll on your phone or watch a movie, which is understandable because your brain has been on all day. So
and also just in school, we have so many subjects. Like how did we actually keep up?
That's actually
I cannot even keep up with the subjects.
I don't like the school system, but that's something different. It's like you cannot judge a monkey for not being able to swim like a fish. It's exactly the same with the school system. Like not everybody's good in history and gym, and like people are good in different things, and you should be able to choose yourself. I get that there are some things we have to learn, like of course read, English, math, all this, but I still think that the school system is very toxic, and also how they like grade people on how good they did in a test, and it's just so toxic. And I feel so bad for people who like obsess over their grades and who just like put all their value into their grades. Like if you do this, please, like you're so much more than your grades. Like you could have a bad day and fail an exam, but you're really good in that subject, or maybe you're just a really good human being, but you're not the best at math. Like
it makes sense for the people that want like in high education where they have to have good grades.
Of course,
they have to work for it, and I mean, you can get good grades in most subjects if you're like good in school. If you're just good at like preparing for the test and so on, then you can get good grades. But like, and you have to, if you want a or not a higher education, but like an education where you have to have like really high grades to get in.
No, of course, like if you want a higher education, it does need higher grades, but I still think that a lot of people put their value into it. And they're like, okay, I suck at this, and I just think that's so sad. I mean, I have so much respect for the people that really hustle for what they want because their passion is to become a doctor or a lawyer or so on, but I don't like to see it when it's people who do it just for the money or just to make their parents proud or so on, when they're not like, when they don't have a passion for it. Like, I feel so bad for them because
it's just...
Imagine doing such a long education, but you're not passionate about it and you're just doing it because your parents want it or because you want to like this status in society or so on. And I know for a fact that so many people do this, and that's why I want to make this episode, because I know a lot of young girls do it too. And I mean, I understand, like, if they've been told their whole life, like, you should get an education to become successful, I get it, but we just want to let you know that your success and your value doesn't come from your education.
And especially not today. Like, you have so many options that you can do without an education.
Yes,
you can learn yourself so many things. You can also take so many courses to learn things.
It's not as important as it has been. And we're living in an online world. Like, you can literally just become an influencer. Like, there's so many things you can do as an alternative. Like, success is not only a high education, and you don't get rich like that even. Like, I mean, because you're gonna get a certain paycheck every month, and it's not even gonna be as much as if you like had your own business or something else. So if your goal is to make money,
then you should not go.
If your goal is to make money, you should not get in higher education. That's a waste of time. You should put all that energy into maybe making a business or another skill. So actually, it's just such a
something like that. You're not gonna
it's
get
such
rich
a
from
twisted idea people have, unless they want to become a pilot or something. But most people, it's just more like doctors and lawyers and so on.
Yeah, and they're not. Yeah, like those jobs are not gonna make you rich.
I mean, I respect it 100%. Like, we need lawyers, we need doctors. Somebody has to do it, and I cannot thank you enough.
People, we need,
of course, but
the jobs.
But it's just that you should only do it if you have a passion for it.
Yeah.
Not just to do something. And I think so many people, they go to school, for example, like lawyer school or doctor school or so on, like each and every day, and they're waking up. It's so early, it's dark outside, they don't want to get out of bed, and they're doing this every day for like 5 years, and then they're like, well, and then they're like, well, this is just life, that's just how it is. Like, no, life is so much more. Yeah, you can do what you want with your life. This doesn't have to be your life if you don't want it. And this goes for like even if it's a job that you don't like if you don't like that job, you can do something to change it. Like, you're not set in stone in this job. I think you can just move all the time, and you shouldn't be like, well, this is just life, I'm gonna just stick with it. I'm gonna just settle.
If you don't like anything, if you don't like your job, if you don't like your education, if you don't like whatever it is, just change it, because you can't change it. And you just have to do it, because it's not like, if you don't like it, it's not gonna make you happy, and you're not just gonna wake up one day and love it, I think.
No,
and if you already don't like it, just change it.
And I think a lot of people settle in that way. They're like, oh no, but I have good colleagues, or I have a nice boss, or some days it's fun, but no,
if it does not make you happy, like, you have to change it.
Like, if the weight is like this, the bad days way more than the good, you should not be in that position. And like, I don't care how good the money is. I don't care how good colleagues you have. You can see them out of work. Like, all these excuses. You have to really take your life in your own hands and create that life that you want. If you don't want to wake up every day at 5 a.m., go outside early, come home at 4 p.m., and then sleep and do the same the next day, you can totally change that.
What people really just have to understand is you choose exactly what you want in your own life. You have the power to choose whatever you want. Even though it feels like it's impossible or something, it's not. You can choose, like, you can just choose how you want your life to be. You
design it.
Yeah,
like we said in the last episode, your life is a video game. It's a movie. Like, who said that life has to be hard? Who said that you have to work hard for your money? Who said that it couldn't be fun? Like, who said that you couldn't have fun making money?
Society did, but like
yeah, but that's the thing. Like,
but it's not true.
Society's like norms are so implemented to so many people's head, they don't question it. Like, please, from this video, if you have to take just one thing, question things. Why is it the way it is? Why is
exactly this? And we've said that before, like,
yes,
but just do it with everything because it's so important.
Like, okay, I'm going to school, question it. Is this making me happy? Am I doing this just because my parents want it, or do I want it? Like, just question it.
And if you want it, that's like very, very, like, that's great. If you already know what your passion is at a young age and you just go for it, go to school, amazing. But for many people, I know this is not the case. And I know it's so hard to choose when you're so young, when you're just like graduating high school or something, you don't actually know what you want. And that's also why so many people like change their education while they're almost finished or something. And then you did not waste. You can never really waste an education, I think, because you learn something. But
you learn more about yourself, that okay, this was not for me.
Yeah, and you also just like learn things in general, and knowledge is never a waste.
So true.
But still, you know, you could have used those years different, and you could have used those years building like some kind of different knowledge, you know, something that you could use in your own life and use to better yourself and like learn more about just the overall world.
I think it's very normal in our society that we connect knowledge with school. Like, oh, I'll get wiser when I go to school, or you do get wiser in an academic aspect.
You get wiser in a specific subject.
Yes.
But not on the world.
When you spend so much time on like one thing, the thing is, you'll get less time to really get to know yourself and like get to know what do you want with your life. And I think, as we said before, it's great if you already know that this is your passion and it sparks a fire in you, then I think you should go ahead and do it. I totally root for you, no matter what it is. Like, if you want to become an astronaut, a doctor, a musician, whatever it is,
what you want to,
I support 100%. If it makes you happy to go to school, if you're that academic type of person, I think you should do it. Like, 9 to 5s are not bad if you like that lifestyle. No. We're just talking to the people who are doing it just to do it because they think like that's just you just need to do it. And so many people are just stuck in this, and they just as I said, like, connect knowledge with school, but what about knowledge on life? What about knowledge on yourself? What about spiritual knowledge? What about healing yourself? What about like so many things? I think that like an uneducated young girl could be way smarter than a highly educated old man, because she spends so much time working on herself and getting to know life and just getting experience maybe in different fields and different jobs and meeting different people, traveling the world. Like, I really don't connect value with education. No. And I think so many people do that.
And also something that's also great with the gap year is that you can actually take the time to get to know yourself.
For sure.
I think that's like why that's the most important reason why you should take a gap year, to just focus on yourself, get to know yourself better, heal yourself, like do whatever, just better yourself overall, and then figure out, okay, what do I like? What do I want to do? I mean, I'm on my, or not really because I'm going to school, you know, but not what I want to do, but still on my second gap year, and I still have no idea what I want to do or what I want to like spend my future on or something like that.
Yeah, and also like it can change. Like when we just got our gap year, we were completely different persons than we are now. Sure. Like I thought I wanted to do something different that I do now, or I mean, it's still the same field that I'm interested in, but I just figured out that I didn't want to go to uni for 5 years. I figured out there was like an alternative to the same education, but like less time consuming. And I feel like if you just go directly to uni after like after the school that we went to. It's different for each country, but you know, for us where we finish at 18, you don't really have the time to research different alternatives and see like, oh, this is also like a thing. Like there's
No, 'cause
so
you
many
also
different.
get taught when you're in school.
Yeah.
Like you get taught, okay, you can do this, this, and
Yeah.
this and that, you know, and that's something that's beneficial for our government and just the school system
Exactly.
in general. But you know, you have so many more opportunities and things
Mhm.
that they do not teach you about.
Exactly.
Like there's actually so many things that, you know, the school system is never going to tell you about and never going to teach you about, that so many people don't know about, because you know, we only get taught what's beneficial for our government and what they can make money on and so on.
Yeah, like research different ways to make money and see which one resonates for you, and go do that or try it out. And then I just really recommend everyone to have a break in their life where they're not going to school, but just really putting all that energy into themselves and figuring out, what do I like? Like maybe you have a job or try different things out and you see if you like it or not. Just please like have some space for you. And
That's
you
so
are
important.
gonna, if you want to have an education, you are gonna get it. It's not gonna stop you from that. It's just gonna give you some time to really figure out, what do I want? Because sometimes you think you know what you want, but you're actually too young to take that decision.
Especially when it comes to career. Like I know for sure, like I know my purpose with my life, but I have no idea what I want like to do career-wise. So now we talked about that you have to do what you like and like what resonates with you, but we also have to figure out like, how do you get there? How do you get to know like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to do, you know?
Yeah. When you want to figure out what's your passion, you have to be connected to yourself. You have to really feel. Like you have to know, okay, do I like this, or is it because my mom likes this? Like you have to know yourself and your values and your interests. Another part of it is also what you're good at. So let's say that you're a person who's really, really good at giving advice. You may have never thought of it as like something that you could make money on, but then you can take that thing you're good at and see, okay, is there a way I can make money on this? For example, if you're good at giving advice, you could maybe become a coach or a psychologist or something like that. Let's say that you love skincare. Like whenever it's time to do your skincare routine at night, you just get so excited. Your skin is always
the happiest.
Your friends are always asking you for skincare products and all this. Then think, okay, how could I turn this into something I could make money on? Maybe a dermatologist, or maybe a skincare advisor, or like just, I think like a really, really good idea is just to take what you're good at and what you like and see if there's any education or any business idea or anything where you can use the thing you're good at, or the thing that you like, of course, in that field.
Yeah, I also think it's very important to think about what I want my life to look like, you know? I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and then go to work and so on. Like I want to work remote, for example, and then I have to find something that will work for me the way like I want my life to be. So I want to work like this amount of hours and I want it to be around this time of day, you know? It's very important for me to find something that will be whenever I want it to be.
I agree. So
not something like, for me personally, like a 9 to 5 would probably not work. Like I could never see myself working at 9 to 5 again.
Yeah, that's the thing. So when you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, like which career path to go towards, you should, one, figure out what you like, what you're good at, but also how you want your life to look. Like if a 9 to 5 is not working for you, if just 6 weeks of holiday each year is not working for you because you want to see the world, then you probably shouldn't do a 9 to 5. Then you should seek alternatives, like maybe something remote or something, online, or just, or something where you travel a lot. Like you really have to take these things into consideration. Don't be a tour guide just because you want to travel if it doesn't interest you, you know? Like
if you don't like to like talk about places and
or if you don't like exactly. And then you're so bored whenever you have to learn about a new monument or something. Like it has to be something where you're both liking the lifestyle, it works for your life, but also something that sparks the light in you and something that you like
doing.
Yeah, like you have to be passionate about it. People can also feel it on you.
Like, for sure,
have you ever like been to a doctor who's just like really low energy and just like like kind of like you can tell they're just doing it maybe for the money or so on, but then you go to another doctor's office who are just so full of life and energy.
Just in supermarkets, you know, like someone can be like
anywhere,
the happiest person ever and like really loving their job, and that's amazing, and you can feel the energy, whereas like somebody else can just be
It
Like,
doesn't
not
matter
even
which
asking if you
field
want
it
a
is.
receipt or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which field it is, but people can sense your energy and you're not going to be happy. Like, please ask yourself, what do you want with this life? So those steps are essential to find out what your passion is if you're stuck.
Just try a lot of different things, see what works for you in like the different aspects and the different things that you try, and just like try as much as you can do while you're young, so you know, like, okay, this works for me, this does not work for me, this makes me happy, this does not make me happy. You know, it makes it so much easier for you to choose what you want to do, like, long term.
You learn by experience.
Yeah.
For me, for example, I learned that I didn't want to have a 9 to 5 by having a 9 to 5. If I've never had a 9 to 5, I would never know how hard it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would never have known, and it was just when I did it, I realized I will never do this shit again. Like, and that's how you learn. If you don't try it, you're not gonna realize how it actually is, and that's why you should never regret if you tried something and it didn't work out and you quit
also
or
if you
something.
like went to school and the school did not work.
Whenever you're it's not even failing, but whenever you're finding out that something isn't for you, you're one step closer to what is for you. So it's never a waste. Never.
No. Nothing is a waste. Nothing academic, nothing work related. Like, you can never really fail. You just figure out, okay, this is not for me, and then you're closer to what's actually for you.
Exactly. And don't stress so much about it. We're living in such a crazy world where you can literally become famous off a dance on TikTok. Like, and make your
endless
income there. Like, there's so many possibilities. Don't compare it so much to the older days, our parents' generation. And I understand their mindset is different because they're not used to this.
Like,
they grew up in that time, and at that time, an education was important. And
you could not just go on TikTok and like become famous overnight.
No, there's just so many possibilities. You can work remotely. That's actually something that is hugely beneficial. Like, if you want to be able to travel whenever you want, working remotely can help you with that. And there's just so many beautiful things with this age with technology that I think you can really benefit from.
And that you should benefit from.
I understand that a lot of people have pressure with like their job and their education from their families, but you really have to work on not feeling like you have to please them. Like, I understand you feel that way because that's how you grew up and you were taught that you were only valuable, and some families are like that. You're only valuable once you get this education, or you're successful in my eyes if you get this education. But you have to really realize this is your life, and just because they're your parents doesn't mean that they know better than you in this subject. That's how they grew up, and they were taught this, and they're just passing it on, and that's just how it is. But you don't have to be mad at them. You just have to be like, Mom, Dad, this is not how the world looks anymore. I can make money on my phone. Like, please just trust me, and do what makes you happy. Don't go spend 10 years in law school because it will make your dad proud. Like, come on.
You should never do that. Like, that's a waste of your time, your energy, and everything.
It's you going to school, not him.
Yeah. Figure out what makes you happy and then go do that.
Exactly. And if you're in a place right now where you're not happy, move. Like, you're not still. You can move. You're not a tree. Like, you can do something about it. And it may seem overwhelming. It may seem impossible, but it's not. Like, do something. Don't settle. If you're not happy with your day-to-day life, don't settle. Like, life is not only supposed to be fun in the weekends. Like, life who taught you life should be sad and miserable and hard, and like,
that's so wrong, and it's so sad. You know, every day should be fun, not just the weekends. Like, you should just like enjoy your day-to-day life. Exactly. Be happy to wake up. You make a life where you can enjoy it every single day. And do not settle on that.
Don't settle. Do not settle. And really work on, if you want to find out what your purpose is in life, just really spend time with yourself. Take some time out of your calendar to reflect. If it's possible for you, take a break from work or from school and just really reflect. And don't be too influenced by people's opinions. Like, if your friend is telling you do this or your dad is telling you do this, no, what do you want to do? And you know yourself best.
Yes.
And also, see what you're good at. Like, see what you like and see if you can turn that into a way of making money, because 9 out of 10 times you can. There's almost a way to make money off of everything. Like, if you like paintings, sell them. If you like skincare, make a skincare brand. Like there's just so much you can do. Like be creative. Don't just think I have to become this educate. I have to take this education. I have to do this. No, be creative, and I'm sure you'll find something. And yeah, don't stress too much. Enjoy life. Life is supposed to be enjoyed. We're gonna wrap it up here. I hope that you could take something from this episode and really reflect on where you are right now and if it's the right for you, or
just promise us that you'll like think about it, or just think about the choices that you're making.
Try to be more intentional
that
with
you're on.
What you do. Do I do
Exactly.
this? Is there a reason behind this, or
like,
am I
why?
just
Why
doing
am I
it?
what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
Just always just question it and do what makes you happy.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that was it for now.
Yes. Thank you for watching,
and see you next time.